Me? Never.
Your money, I'm dipping in it. Aston Martin, I'm whipping in it.
Resident Evil Requiem is another entry in everyone's favorite series prone to a yearly identity crisis, sometimes resulting in an industry-altering masterpiece, and others resulting in a slightly better shooter than the yearly COD. But where does Requiem stand in this? Well, what's up, people? My name's Josh, and that's the question I'm setting out to answer today. And before I harass all of y'all with all that like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit, let me earn that from y'all. And that out of the way, this is answering the question, did Resident Evil Requiem truly perfect the RE formula? Let's find out. Leon! I automatically assumed my man crush, Leon, was going to be the GOAT of this game, since usually my albino monkey brain prefers action to horror. And admittedly, Grace didn't leave the best first impression. She is the most whiny character in gaming history. That being said, the first 30 minutes of Requiem are hands down the most pants-pissing mommy sim I've ever played. I had no idea this was going to be my intro to the game, so shout out to Bruno Mars for keeping my over-caffeinated ass sane. But phew, I'm now playing as Leon and it's over. I can enjoy a well-deserved break and start the Zelda dungeon. Welcome to hell, Grace Ashcroft. The primary villain of this game, Gideon, throws you into a clusterfuck hellhouse with a bunch of zombies stuck in limbo. The zombies in this game set a new standard because zombies face an offer Employee of the Month gave them more charm than any of the other fodder enemies in the series. This was complemented by the lack of ammo in Grace's sections, turning every single bullet into a one-use oh shit button. One iffy mechanic in my opinion was the blood collection. It don't make no sense that you can use rotting AIDS blood to craft pills and bullets. Wait. Actually, Bloodborne 2 confirmed? That minor issue didn't really hurt the game, it just kind of removed the footing in reality. An actual flaw is the puzzles, which are basically solved by cleaning this funky bastard's many extra offices. There is, however, one major exception. I've failed to mention the child that is being held prisoner in the hospital basement that just so happens to be blind and likes to read horror books in Braille.
It's fucking terrifying.
Obviously, the solution to a puzzle in Braille is to go down to the bottom level and piggyback Emily through the undead fuckhouse to solve it for you. Look, I liked this section, I just thought it was really stupid, that's all. Anyways, skipping about 30 minutes later, we get to Ari's mandatory super section, which was perfect time for my second listen to Bruno Mars. Here's where they really made the best use of the old crusty bitch as a stalker enemy, and she puts Mr. X to shame. She may be my new undisputed favorite stalker enemy in any Resident Evil, and this was hands down the best part of the game because of that. That being said though, the final moment of Grace is kinda underwhelming in my opinion. It's the final boss against the girl and it's easy as fuck. Its real purpose is to build up to the death of Emily, which I ain't got no clue why women in this series just have the ability to fall in love with children they've known for like 2 hours, but I'm of the variety that can't lactate, so what do I know? This leads to the final cutscene that made all of us fans tell Grace to go fuck herself because we are foaming at the mouth over a man that is clearly related to Albert Wesker. But don't worry, I'll be back to him.
I think I want a second opinion.
My GOAT, Leon Scrumptious Kennedy, appears sporadically through Grace's sections to drop a one-liner and a couple roundhouses here and there, and there will never be a moment my charismatic daddy won't be the GOAT. But his real time to shine comes when it's time for him to go back to the place that started it all. Over dramatic bullshit aside, I actually got chills when Leon was on the phone with Sherry, driving his fuck ugly new Porsche into Raccoon City.
I'm gonna eat you, pussy.
The thing I felt made this opening 10 to 20 minutes of Leon's half incredible was A, experiencing the deja vu from Leon's perspective down to the point of him seeing his old car at the gas station, but also B, you, as a Resident Evil fan, seeing iconic places from both 2 and 3 destroyed. And we get just enough of the solitude before Mr. Spider generously offers to give Leon the Peter Parker treatment. This is textbook Leon Kennedy gameplay. I just kinda wished for a one-liner here, that's all. Now, however, we experience the weakest part of the game. Leon's sections are meant to be more combat focused, but the combat, while great, is a major step down from RE4 Remake. And this run and gun semi-open world hour or two kinda got old. The enemies ain't as cool as the beginning, but I could forgive all of that if this place looked half as interesting as it did before 9/11. I ain't no expert, but I doubt nukes eliminate color. Raccoon City in Requiem makes Dark Souls 3 look like Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
I don't play World of Warcraft. Butters, you said you're on your computer all the time.
Yeah, but I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Anyways, back to the story. Leon gets the key, which is a bomb by the way, and enters hands down the most divisive portion of this game. Now, is it stupid to have a gravity-defying motorcycle chase in Resident Evil? Yes. Do I care? Hell nah. This campy nonsense is what Resident Evil is known for, and is also a reference that no one seems to be getting.
The cop outside died that day.
Leon, do you still think about what happened?
Somehow I managed to get myself involved with the incident in Raccoon City on my first day in the force.
Forget what happened that day. September 30th, 1998. It's a day I'll never forget. This time can be different.
And nothing made Capcom obligated to remake anything other than the lobby. But they instead made damn near all of what is, with no doubt in my mind, the single greatest level in gaming history. They had niche references only the biggest versions would get, and Leon gives voice lines so sad even King Von would cry.
Hey, Lieutenant Brenna. Kennedy. Reporting for duty.
And then we get a waste of potential. Who would have guessed? Look, I like Mr. X, but for this game, the only time we will ever go back to Raccoon City, mind you, it should have been Nemesis. Especially because Mr. X, his boss fight was clearly Nemesis coded, so they just missed out on a golden opportunity. But beyond that, the Raccoon City section was solid. Probably the weaker half of Resident Evil Requiem, but a historical moment for Resident Evil.
Leon Kennedy, we finally meet.
This is where most of the story in the game goes down, and like most Resident Evils, is mid as hell. But after defeating the big plan I have chosen to ignore in this video, you get to Arc, which is the belly of the beast, if you will. Most of it serves as a victory lap for Leon to style on Hunk, Hunk, and Hunk, all culminating in the series' first and hopefully not only boss fight with Hunk. Hunk was fun, albeit really easy, but it gives me hope that Resident Evil will continue melee boss fights it's been given us. The first stretch results in Leon finding Zeno. I thought Mr. X was bad. Zeno is the biggest waste of potential in the whole series. He is quite literally Albert Wesker, almost confirmed in fact, to be a clone of Wesker, and yet he does nothing. I barely have anything to critique because that's how insignificant he is. Anyways, Leon's dying. Turns out Raccoon City survivors were kinda low-key infected with the T-virus, and it just so happened to be generous enough to wait 30 years for the protagonist. But relax, COVID can't stop Leon suplex Kennedy, so while he's passed out, we get reminded this game is about Grace, and we finally see her backstory.
Open Pandora's box.
Yeah, I'll fucking say. So I ain't no expert on Oswald Lee Spencer. I know there was speculation for him, and I get that he was the founder of Umbrella, but he sounded lame, so I didn't care. And I was right. I don't fully understand this part, but I think if I simply say, blah blah blah, Grace is the light that shines over Hyrule, you'll get it. And with that, we are at the grand finale, and I chose the good ending my first playthrough, which also is considered to be the canon one. Grace releases Elpis, which rather than being a virus ends up being a vaccine. Zeno is an anti-vaxxer. Zeno is now dead. Man, do you remember Zeno? Gideon instantly forgets that he just shot Zeno and throws you into a genuinely pretty solid boss fight for Resident Evil. And the conclusion kinda acts like it's gonna be tragic like always. Leon and Grace are gonna die together, but luckily Chris sent a squad to tell Leon it's time to fuck shit up at the BSAA. Leon casually reveals the only mildly sad moment of this game was a hoax, and for the fourth time, Leon, now alongside Grace and Emily, live happily ever after. Oh, and Leon's married now! I know I spent the last couple minutes kinda tearing the end apart, mostly because half of it was bullshit, but half of what Resident Evil is bullshit, and I got no issues with a heroic ending for this series as long as the game building up to it was good. I guess the real Resident Evil Requiem was the friends we made along the way. The only true gripe I had was the lack of my Asian baddie. But even without a Chinese queen to make me care, Resident Evil Requiem might be one of the best entries in the series, and as a fan, I loved both of the stories despite my complaints. And I give this game a strong 8. It's got a lot of quality moments, and I can't wait to see what they do next with the series. But what were your thoughts? I want to invoke some community discussion, so let me know down there. And without all that out the way, now's the part where I ask, if y'all liked, and only if y'all liked, please subscribe. I love you. Jesus loves you. Jesus probably really don't like Xeno. And peace out.